Alright, YouTube, welcome to the CBX, the Canadian Basketball Experience, the league. Hey, look here, man. I'm trying to, I've been working on this for a while now, but announcing my new dynasty, which is professional Canadian basketball. Okay. I wanted to do a basketball dynasty. I really wanted to do something different. I was gonna do just a typical, bunch of American team. Might throw in a couple of Canadian teams. Might throw in a couple of Mexican teams. I even had the teams and logos and everything set. That's what I was going to do. But I was unable to upload any of the logos. I mean, I had the teams laid down, the divisions, everything. I even had a team in the Bahamas. I had a team in one team was in. Let me see. I had about 4, maybe 5 Mexican teams. I think I had about 5 Canadian teams. The rest of them was from the States. I'm trying to think. Did I have a Jamaican team? No, I had a Puerto Rican team. I had a team from Puerto Rico. Let's see. And I had a team from the Bahamas. Yeah. Man, I had it laid out. I even had this one place where I went to where you can make logos and stuff. And I had the logos made. I was ready to start, uploading this stuff. And for some reason, I cannot get this to work. I couldn't get it to work. So I'm like, shoot. Oh, man. I wanted to do this, man. And so what I did was I went through all the stuff. It was going to be called the North American Basketball League. That was going to be. And I went through all the stuff. And I tried to find logos that would fit the teams that I had made up from that league. Because I was going to do that league. Shoot. So that was the plan. And then I said to myself, because, I be watching, what's that group? GG9, I think it's called, or something like that. That XBA that they got, which is very good, by the way. Trust me on that, they're very good. And I said, well, shoot, if I'm gonna do a basketball league, maybe I need to do something different. And I said, well, this is about as different as I could get. And I said, well, what about Canada? I mean, you like Canada? It's always been one of your favorite places you always wanted to visit and go. Which, by the way, I had plans on going until everything had to be canceled. Okay? Trip, how you say, not canceled, we gonna say delayed. Okay? And I have been to Canada once before, but I mean, that was like, can you really say that I was in Canada? I mean, the plane landed, it refueled. I never got out the plane. We was only there for like a good hot 40 minutes, 45 minutes. I only looked out the window. So, I was coming home from a tour in Germany. So, hey, I just was like, hey, hurry up and get me home. Okay. So at the time I wasn't thinking about boom, 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 getting out. I just wanted to just refuel, get me home. Okay. So, but I always, as a kid, I always had a connection with Canada, which is I said, well, why not? I know a lot of the cities, a lot of the provinces where they're located. I said, why not? Canada. Oh, Canada. Don't give me the singing though, because I can't sing. Anyway, so I said, okay, I'm going to do a Canadian basketball dynasty. Now, originally, when I said that, it came out of my mouth as a college basketball dynasty. Okay? But I said, well, what do we want to see, like the college kids in the next level? And I said, okay, then let's do the professional. So I'm going to do the CBX as a professional league, but I'm also going to do college as well. So but we're going to focus on the CBX, but we're going to do the college because, hey, they're Canadian colleges, schools, right? And they're the draft pool for the most part. So I said, okay, but I still had the same problem of not being able to do my own logo. Now I'm getting ready to introduce the teams. There's a couple things, like there's some tweaks on the logos that I've done because I'm not using actual video footage. I'm just using like the court. Well, you'll see. And yeah, most of it is done. The teams are pretty much set as far as the rosters. I just went over the uniforms, which I'm going to do another video with the uniform reveal and the roster reveal. But I just went over the uniforms last night. I'm fine with that, but I might make changes as we go. That's one good thing about this game. You can make changes as you go forward. Anyway, when I originally was gonna do this, I was gonna just do 18 teams. So I got it all set for 3 division, 18 teams. When I got to the 18th team, and I was like, man, this is fun. So I said, well, let's just go and do the whole 36. So the conferences is mixed up from east to west, but we're gonna fix that during the off season. So right now we just looking at it from just everybody just boom, just boom. So we're not gonna worry about divisions right now. We'll break that down during the off season. Okay. What else? The logos. The logos, I had to do 2 different things. I had to find a logo that fit my idea of a team that I was looking for, or I had to find a logo and then go from there and say, okay, I'll take this. This is what I'll do. So that's what I had to do. It's not what I wanted to do, but it's what I had to do in order to get all this down. As you can see, there's a bunch of different logos. You can see some of the names of the teams already, but I'm gonna break it even further down from that because some of the logos don't have any names or anything. So anyway, we're gonna start off with Charlottetown, the Stallions. They are based in the province of Prince Edward Island. Is an island, is a province. Then you got Halifax, the Flames. They're based in Nova Scotia. When you see their roster, you're going to think they're stacked. The computer did the draft. I didn't. But check it out anyway. Okay, we got Goose Bay, the Tritons. I wanted to name them the Atlanteans. I might do that down the road. But for right now, they're the Tritons. They're based out in Newfoundland. My favorite team here, New Brunswick, the Hardbacks, the Heroes in the Half Shell. Anyway, their roster, I like their roster. That's going to be one of the teams that I would actually play. Newfoundland, the Islanders. This is the other team that I'll be playing. I'm only going to play 2 teams, and that's it. And they are based off in the capital of Newfoundland. Sydney, this is not Australia, Sydney. This is in Nova Scotia, Sydney, Canada. But I named them the Kangaroos just for name, because Sydney, Kangaroos, All right, then we got the Quebec, the Caribous. They're based out in the city of Quebec, which is in the province of Quebec. And if that doesn't look Canadian, I don't know what. All right, then you got Team Iceland. They're the one team that is not a Canadian team, but is close enough, and it gives them a little bit of an international flavor. Then we got the Ottawa Huskies, based off in the capital of Canada, Ottawa. And they got some nice uniforms. I'm not crazy about their rosters because they got players on it I ain't too crazy about. Then we got Niagara Falls, the Sky Force. I really like their uniforms. All of these teams, I had to redo some of the uniforms, a lot of the uniforms really, and some of the courts, the gyms, the arenas. And we had the Montreal Expos coming back from the grade, no longer playing baseball, so I'll put them with the basketball. Then their rivals, crosstown rivals, the Montreal Valor. They just look like a team from Canada. They look like a Montreal team would look like. So hey, there it is. One of the teams that was going to be in the other dynasty that I was going to do, the Winnipeg Ballers. You wouldn't believe who the best player on this team is that the computer drafted. Oh man, but they based out in Winnipeg. Then we had the Regina Cats. Originally they was known as the Snow Cats. I changed the name. They was going to be in Montreal, but Regina got the team. They needed a team. Then we got Saskatoon, the Lumberjacks, based out in Saskatchewan. And man, that's the first time I ever said that word properly, well, in one try. I like the uniforms, man. You have to check out the uniform. You got the Edmonton Drillers. This is a team that I hadn't really focused too much on. It was like I don't know if it was the uniform or it was the logo that made me decide to go with that team. Then we got the Churchill Bordeaux. They are based out in Churchill. There's a city in Manitoba. They're kind of like a simple and plain team. Almost look like a high school. All right, then you got the Calgary 88s. I really like this team. I almost picked this team to play. They kind of, for some reason, remind me of the 76ers. And I really like this team. I like their roster. And you'll see. Okay, we got the Yukon Polar. I should have just went on and said Polar Bears, but whoever did this logo said Polar, so I'm going with it. All of these logos can be changed down the road if someone has a problem with me using a logo. Alright, so we got the Team Canada. This was the international amateur team that decided to go pro along with their sponsors. Alright, then you got the Northwest Red Raiders. They are based in the Northwest Territory, which is way to the northwest. Close to Yukon and close to Alaska. Then we got the Cambridge Vipers, Cambridge Bay Vipers. They're also in that great north of Canada. And I like the uniforms. The Hudson Bay Cougars, who's also they are based in the capital of the new province, which I cannot pronounce I can't pronounce it, but they based in a new province. Greenland, So Greenland on the map look like it should be part of Canada, but it's not. It's its own country. And hey, it's close enough, so I decided, hey, let's put a team in Greenland. So here we have the Yeti. Then we have Windsor, the Wings. Couldn't think of another name for them. Windsor is a city based close to Toronto in Ontario. Now we have the Toronto Mounties. If that doesn't scream Canada to you, I don't know what will. But those are the Mounties. Wait till you see their uniform. They got some nice uniforms too. And I almost picked them. And then you got Thunder Bay, the Thunderbirds, which originally they was called the Bucks, aka Buccaneers, but I didn't like it. So I decided to go with Thunder Bay. It's a city. It's not far from Toronto, in the same province. Then you got Victoria, the Snow Owls. Originally just the Owls, but I added the snow. And wait till you see who they are roster. And they're based out in British Columbia province. Then you got Vancouver The Rage. Originally they was the Phantoms, had the same color scheme. I kept the color scheme. I got rid of the Phantom because I just didn't like it. Found that logo. I said, hey, call them a Rage. Leave it at that. Vancouver. And now we got Team British Columbia. They are a club team that the owners decide, hey, they want to make it into a pro team. And that's about it. They're based in Fort Nelson in British Columbia. Then we got the Toronto Jays. Based off the Blue Jays, but we can't say Blue Jays. We just call them Jays. All right, Prince George is a city based in British Columbia. They are the Tigers. Changed their logo. Did not touch their uniform because they got some sweet uniform. And then we got the Hamilton Tropics. I know Tropics in Canada do not make sense. But hey, it sounds good. It's a team it's a city. Hamilton is close to Toronto, like real close. So hey, that's gonna be cool. Then we got the Vancouver Pride. If you've seen GG9, you'll know that logo. I like that logo. I hope they don't get mad that I'm using it. But they're in Vancouver. All right, then we got the London City Royals. London is close to Toronto, London, Canada, not London, England. And then we got an American team, Alaska, the Explorers. I had to put a team in America. Look like they playing on a high school gym, but hey, some of these schools or some of these teams have that limitations. Anyway, those are the teams, and I really hope that you will enjoy the dynasty. And I wanted to announce it because I didn't want anyone to, beat me to the punch on a Canadian dynasty. And just to be honest, that's honest. I'm being honest. As well as me also saying that there will be a college dynasty that's hooked with this dynasty. I'm announcing that also, and I'll be giving out details on that later on. There's other stuff that I want to reveal, but we're not going to actually start playing this dynasty until I'm done with the XRL, the Extreme Rugby League. I want to get that dynasty to its conclusion, as well as the new SEC. And I want to be doing their off-season stuff in between the actual CBX games. So hey, but that's it. That's the upcoming dynasty. There's more. There's dynasties coming after those. So hey, like you said, we're trying to expand this channel and give you a variety of different things. But unfortunately, in order for me to do that, it has to be things that I'm personally interested in. And I want to thank you for hanging in there with me. And hey, have a good evening. And we will see you in the next episode. CBX, Canadian Basketball Experience, coming to you on the tube.